Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Full Force News Burst Live special with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, brought to you by GeneralsJoesReborn.com. Not me. I mean, I'm not being brought to you. Mate, I suppose that I am part of the show, so I guess that is technically the case. But anyway, hope everyone is having a good evening this random Wednesday. So what was it, the midweek? Yeah, midweek, man. It's weird, isn't it? Getting over the hump is what they called it, I think, most of you guys. Anyway, yeah, hi to Jeremy, hi Paisano, hi Ryan, how everyone in the chat. Hope everyone's doing well. A little bit of news to discuss already, just a few days into the week. It's been kind of a weird, busy, but not quite busy week of G.I. Joe stuff. So obviously we've got classified new updates for you today. We've got Hiya, because Hiya, like, they went quiet for about 5 minutes and everyone was like, surely there's a Hiya reveal around the corner. Lo and behold, we get one. I've got the figure right here, actually. No, this is not the Hiya figure. This is obviously the classified Zartan, but we'll be talking about that in a little while. We'll also be discussing in-hand images of the Action Sailor Recon Diver, the 60th anniversary classified series figure, courtesy of Simon Riley. Thank you, Simon, for those images, by the way. And even though it doesn't show it on the image that I've utilized or knocked up for the what do you call it, I suppose, the not avatar, you know, the thumbnail, that's because I forgot that I was going to talk about it and then didn't put it in the image. So again, a little bit of how the sausage is made there. But yes, I forgot to add that to the graphic. But yes, we'll be talking about the Trick or Treat Studios reveals as well from a few days ago, yesterday. I don't know. The days are all merging into one now. I hope everyone's doing well. Anyway, loads of people in the chat. Hello, everyone. News, yay, Transformers HasLab, yay, says Jeremy. Yes, Transformers HasLab is going to be announced on the 30th, correct? What do you think it's going to be? Let me know in the comments. Primus, probably, right? What's up, Cheese Bags? Penny Rooster Reviews. Hello, Derek. Hello, Danny. Hello, Checkpoint. Hello, Future Fortress. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Diecast Nick. Hello, Mike. Mike Nicky Andela. That's an interesting name. I like it. Does the Hiya Zartan color change? You know what, Mike? I don't know. I'm going to quickly look at the copy for that. But while I'm looking at that, let's transition and get into the first bit of news, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. Still haven't managed to get to what I was trying to do in the interim. Now I've only got 6 seconds to do whatever I need to do. You can't really do much in 6 seconds, apart from a few. Well, there's a few things you can do. First off, you asked me if the Zartan, Hiya Toys Zartan. Let's talk about Hiya Toys Zartan while we are here. Now, in the copy, it says this. Now, Exquisite miniseries 118 Zartan action figure from G.I. Joe joins Hiya Toys. That's my commercial voice. Zartan is a true chameleon whose natural abilities in mimicry, acting, prosthetic effects, and disguise have been enhanced by significant genetic modification. He can assume any identity at any time with absolute precision. The true identity of Zartan is hidden beyond dozens of aliases, making it nearly impossible to piece together his history and causing his sense of self to break down and destabilize his already chaotic mind. Zartan is also the head of an outlaw motorcycle club called the Dreadnoks. Side note there, I like that. This brand new Zartan action figure stands at 105 millimeters tall, 4 inches, and features 19 articulation points. I like it. Clad in armor dominated by shades of black and olive green, complemented by a detachable hood and combat boots. Each component, from the gloves to the hood, boasts intricate details, and a snakeskin-like pattern highlights Zartan's affiliation with Cobra. Extensive black eye makeup on Zartan's face, which we'll get to a little bit later, actually, coupled with icy blue eyes and a sinister smile, adds a unique intimidation factor and an air of mystery. Additionally, the figure includes 4 interchangeable hand parts, 1 pistol, 1 backpack, 1 mask, 1 hood, and 1 knife, allowing you to display different poses. Included with the figure is an exclusive base, enabling you to recreate an authentic battlefield atmosphere right in the comfort of your own home. Release time 2024 Q4. Price $24.99 USD's nuts. You can get it on Hiya Toys, or you can check to see if any locals have got it. The best place is, I always forget the name of the blooming store. What is it, guys? There's a Jeremy. I think you remember what it is. Someone in the comments will remember what it is. There is a website that does like really good shipping, or like almost hardly any shipping. Might even be free shipping. It's cheap anyway, and the figure you're not paying crazy amounts. I forget the name of the company. Anyway, Cool Toys Club. Is that what it is? Cool Toys Club. Okay, thank you, Future Fortress Maximus. It usually takes them a few days to get them up, Kitty said. Also, what I will also add here as well is that Robot Kingdom was the one I'm trying to think of. But yeah, there's another one. Yes, Cool Toys Club. I think that's the one. I think that's the one I was trying to think of. $26 shipped from them, yeah, which is great, isn't it? Because I mean, like you're talking a lot more if you get it shipped from, from the Far East, basically. Anyway, I basically got. I'm not sure if you won't be able to see very well now. I'll show you towards the end of the show. But I've been busy kind of setting up my classified collection in the IKEA bookshelf behind me there. You see that? So again, we'll have a proper talk about that at the end of the show when I transition onto the main screen. But yeah, so I've got one of my Zartans up here, and it's quite interesting the changes that they've made are either deco, very slight deco differences, and of course the face makeup, which is really cool on the Hiya Toys one, I must add. Anyway, Joy Toy, thank you, Andrew Clark, is another one. Robot Kingdom was the one. I wasn't the one I was thinking of initially, Jeremy, but it was the one that I just had a brain fart about a second ago. I think it's Cool Toys Club or something like that. There was another one. It might be similar to that, Future Fortress, but if they do that too, then that's great. Does the mask have holes for eyes? Oh no, it has those white jobs, doesn't it? Like, in fact, much like this one, I think. I don't think this has holes for eyes. No. Yeah, they're both closed eyes. Look, they've basically done the white eye thing, and obviously his eyes are white on the figure as well, so it kind of looks like his eyes are poking through, I guess. Anyway, Hiya Toys. There are a few nice little kind of differences in deco here. Now we've lost the monkey's paw and the snake head, which were those little kind of belt attachments that were on the original Zartan that this is based on. And this original Zartan, this one here in hand, not the retro, not the Master of Disguise exclusive. This one is the closest to the Hiya Toys kind of release that you're gonna get. Now, what is interesting about this, as I was saying, is we've got obviously a much like brighter red in like a different color actually on the scarf or the neckerchief. And on this Zartan figure, that color is very muted. They are different colors, the hood and the scarf, but it's it's much closer than the one we're seeing on screen at the moment, which has that kind of like red kind of situation. I must admit, like when I saw this one first come up, I'm like, oh, cool. That's one I think we had discussed in the past as possibilities for Hiya to do, because obviously they're really doing they're really kind of keeping it to the classified kind of designs, aren't they, and everything. Plastic Battles and Rachel, not a fan of the face. Interesting. I must admit, I was kind of digging the face more than a lot of them. Like, obviously, Flint is the one I have the major issues with. But how did I derail myself then, just doing a stupid joke? I do that. That happens a lot. But yeah, this one was definitely not too bad in the face from what I felt when I first saw this. Why do Hiya have a wide thigh gap? I think it's just the way they do their legs. They do the legs quite thin. So yeah, I think that's really just what happens. And then obviously you get that kind of almost like diaper crotch vibe at the top. Jeremy says it's the face paint for me, it's just off. Oh, interesting. So we'll get to the face paint because it is different. It's much different to what we've seen with previous Zartans. I can't think of any Zartans that have had this kind of design. Excuse me. But let's check it out. Anyway, I suppose what it is, like for shots like this, it kind of has these little curls that kind of come up here, which kind of almost looks like a comedy mustache. Do you know when they do like the little like whoop, little kind of like the kind of hook mustache sort of thing. That's kind of what the vibe I get with the little hooky bits on the bottom of the eye makeup. Um, so sorry, I'm kind of stuck in my desk here. Get my bum in the right position. There we go. So I think like, oh right, Mike. Sorry, you're saying that that's your and your wife account, so that's why it's Mike Nikki. I see what you're saying. That's cool. I just thought it was your middle name. I was like, that's a cool middle name. Um, so yeah, I kind of yeah, I see what you're saying about the face paint here. I think it's when we get close up to it and I kind of look at it and go, oh, that's really interesting. But yeah, there is a deco difference here. We've got like this olive green, I think they call it, like which is like, I believe, those little panels at the top of the armor, right on the like that splits the chest pieces in half, basically, and then on the kind of the trim of the shoulder pieces. But it kind of looks a little grey to me on in these images. Joker-esque, Andrew. Yes, I will actually say yes. I think that's the situation there, isn't it? There's a sorry, I should have had a drink. There is a bit of a Joker-esque vibe going on there with these little curly bits here. Kind of gives him the impression that he's got like, yeah, the little bit on the side of the mouth almost. Anyway, so that's so they have made a little change there. So it's only like minor changes at the moment. And like I say, the design is still exactly the same all over. Like the accessories are pretty much the same, the hood's the same, you still got that snakeskin effect. The neckerchief is the same, the armor's got the same detail on it. There are no real differences there. The only changes obviously being that they've taken things away, with the monkey's paw and the snake head that clipped to the belt, and they've kept him very like chill in terms of accessories. The knife is still in the same position on the back of the belt there, which is pretty dope. I do like this. You know what? I haven't really messed with this Zartan for a long time, and just getting him in hand again. There's actually I really like this figure. I really do. It's just kind of I feel like he's been a bit of a victim of having too many of the same release. Like the Master of Disguise was really cool, lots more accessories, changed, skin color. But I would have been happy. And I know it kind of fell in that kind of time period where they were changing the aesthetic and trying to go more vintage and all that kind of stuff. So Zartan was still on the cusp of having that classified infusion going on. He does come with a backpack wrench. Yeah, so I'll move on. So yeah, like I feel like he was a bit of a, I don't know, he was a bit caught in that like um period of time where it's like, oh, we're going to go into do a more vintage version now, and we're going to give him like a cartoon, like almost like a Sunbow deco, and throw him in a retro, card and everything. And again, like I have all three of them, but I'm like, this one's perfectly fine. Like I think it's really cool. If they'd have just done the Master of Disguise one, if that's like in a similar thing to Mindbender, if that Zartan was the only one we had, I'd be happy. But you know, um, they just had to make changes. I don't know. It just seems too minimal, the changes for what they did. But anywho, yeah, back to this. I don't think it does color change. By the way, I think someone asked me that question ages ago, and I never really got to that. I genuinely don't think it does. They would show it. They would have said it, or they would have hinted at it in the copy. I would imagine he's standard issue, Mogad issue. Hasbro mentioned sci-fi, not the character, and line expansion. Any idea what could that be? Design changes along with retro, Super Saiyan Berserk. I line expansion. I mean, they've kind of already expanded the line, and they're going to expand it even more. Is effectively what's going to happen. So it's probably like we've seen a lot of reveals. We've heard a lot of reveals are coming. A lot of listings. So in terms of like, how they're expanding it, Hasbro are talking a little bit behind what we already are aware of. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we've seen we've heard that a lot of things are coming. So maybe they're just hinting at that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was that in the Dan Who Reviews interview, Super Saiyan? Because I still, hands up, still haven't watched that yet. I will do before the weekly on Friday, but I've just had no time at all. It's been ridiculous, which is why I'm doing 3 news bursts for the price of 1 tonight. I was actually planning tonight to do a Let's Talk Classified Iron Grenadiers video, which would have been my first live version of that, where I do like a little history of the figures and talk about what I'd like to see in the classified design and all that kind of stuff. So I'll do that tomorrow now. But anyway, the going sci-fi was something Lenny said in the Dan Who interview regarding upcoming vehicles. Oh, going sci-fi. I see what you mean. Sorry, I get what you. I see. And I've only just realised what you wrote previously, Super Saiyan, in that Hasbro mentioned sci-fi, not the character. I see what you're saying. Right. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't know is the answer to that specifically. All I know is what we've talked about on listings reveals and all that kind of stuff, and what we are aware of, but I don't know exactly what they're getting at there. And I've also decided to hold off on the interview because I feel like we've got an incoming live event. We've just had all of the brands revealing their live events: Star Wars, Transformers today for the 30th of Feb. For the 30th of January. It makes sense to me now that they're going to be doing something on the 1st of Feb, or very in and around that time. So I would keep an eye out tomorrow and Friday for any kind of, I'll be getting a GI Joe kind of reveal event kind of thing. But no, I don't know is the answer to that question. Apologies, Super Saiyan, and thank you to Ryan Daly for kind of waking me up because I'm not paying attention. Anyway, so yeah, coming back to Hiya. Yeah, I personally like what they've done here with Zartan. It's very much of what you expect, with a couple of very, very minor tweaks. Hood's removable, as they're showing here. He's got the knife as well. There's another shot from a different angle of effectively the same thing. And then we've got the in-studio shots here of Zartan. And this is where it starts to show us the kind of like design on the kind of face paint. They make UV spray paint. Yes, they do. I mean, I would say that they would probably call out if they were going to be doing it or not. But I guess we'll find out. But if I was a betting personage, I would say no, they're not going to be doing color change on this particular figure. There he is again. I like how when he takes his hood off, his bald head is a little bit like of a lighter color than the rest of his face, almost like he doesn't get much sun on it. Do you know what I mean? Like he's had a tan on his face, whether his hood's been on it, and then he's got this one like tan, this like non-tan, like bald head. That could just be the image, the painted image, or whatever. The lighting could be all sorts of things, but it makes me laugh anyway. There's another shot of him again without the hood. Now this is where we see this is the image I saw that kind of made me go, oh, I like this. The hood actually is ever so slightly different in that the peak. If you look at the peak on the classified figure, it's a little stumpier than the one on the Hiya Toys one. It's a little more elongated. The snake skin is thicker and wider on the top, and is a different pattern. It's a more finite snake skin pattern than the kind of more like than the larger snake skin design on the like the larger kind of scales is what I'm getting at. How does a guy who's afraid of sunlight get a tan? Exactly, Justin. How? That's what he disguises himself as someone that has a tan. He can change anything. So yeah, it's interesting that there's ever so slight kind of shape changes going on with this hood as well. Like I feel like the points here that stick out at the front, I feel like they're more prominent on the classified figure than on the Hiya Toys one. It's interesting that they've made some changes there. But then looking at the eye makeup, I don't know. I find it quite interesting. It looks like two snakes with their mouths open, or maybe even like two eagles or something. It just looks like two animals to me, kind of like facing each other. And then the eyes obviously add to the side of the face and make it look like it's the eye of the creature. The eye of the creature. I know that's not the song, but rising up. Crumbs. But anyway, So yeah, some interesting design choices, and we can see the deco a little bit more now on the figure, and you can see that those like kind of sections that are a lot lighter on the armor, you know, they're the same, exactly the same design, exactly the same kind of cues, just obviously more prominent deco changes have gone on there, which is cool. So anyway, yeah, that's why I think when I look at the paint, it looks like two like animals just kind of like facing each other with their mouths open, and the eyes within that look like the eyes of the eye of the creature. um Destro's tanning bed. He could, yeah, could have been sneaking a little tan in that, but then you know he'd be like screaming the whole time, wouldn't he? Join us on the Full Force News Burst. We do Rorschach tests on action figures. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Andrew Clark. I'm going to call you Action Clark then. Maybe that's what I'll just call you Action Clark from now on, Andrew. You forget these are only 4-inch. Absolutely. There's a lot of detail on this figure, especially with that paint deco, for a 4-inch figure, big time. This shot gives me raptor vibes, says Jamie Lynn. Yeah, his hood looks somewhat bird-like. Yeah, and the the face paint is something I could see raptor having, like two, you know, birds, two birds on your face. What? Two like, you know, birds of prey on in on the over the eyes. Absolutely. Right then, two birds on your face. What? Yeah, so that's Zartan. He comes with a backpack, the Paddy Lennon mask, which I like. We've always called it that since the original. Then obviously the backpack does separate in exactly the same way that classified one does. The pistol looks massive in that image. I don't think it's going to be that big. Although I have said, you know, saying that they do big, but then again, the hands are much bigger as well. That's not all to scale, clearly, is it? It's like the backpack and the hood might be to scale, but the pistol, knife, and hands are way bigger on that image. So yeah, lots of different sets of hands: the pistol, the knife, the hood, and the backpack with the mask, and of course the figure stand. Anyway, that is the Hiya Toys Zartan. I'll be talking about this with Pat on Friday as well for the weekly. So there you go. God, you're going to get lots of content this week, today, tomorrow, and Friday. That's all you deserve. I'm just kidding. I would do this stuff all the time if we were getting stuff all the time. And which, let's face it, these things ramp up and down. So you know, it's not like we've been shy on news every weekly. There's been a couple of weeks that have been a little bit light, but we get stuff most of the time. And thanks to Hiya to keeping churning these bad boys out. Anyway, let's move on to the Action Sailor, and big thank you to Simon Riley for sending us images of the Action Sailor in hand. Really like these shots as well. Get some good close-ups of the figure, the head sculpts there. Again, like, you know, you see a lot of the detail in the faces, which is really cool. That I think we've had that rifle already with Torpedo, haven't we? I think we have. I lose track, but I'm sure we have. The secondary though on that figure looks phenomenal. I love that that new piece that's coming with this figure. I think it really adds to that torpedo mold in a massive way. Action. Well, he's an action sailor, recon diver, Miguel. That's the full name. It is I'll give you the full name: GI Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Action Sailor : Kitty said, Recon Diver. There you go. That's its full name. Anyway, yeah, so I really love this shot of all of the bits and bobs there. Then we get this beauty. This is the kind of like his little underwater submarine sort of, you know, no worries, Mikhail, no worries, man. Where he, you know, the little underwater drivey thing. I don't know what you call it. His little vehicle. Wetsuit had one, but it was didn't look anything like this. A lot of people are saying this is probably going to be something that comes with wetsuit and is obviously in, like, you know, orange or yellow or whatever. And I could see that. I could definitely see that. And then they might save for, like, another wetsuit retro for the kind of more vintage accessories, or they'll just go straight into wetsuit with loads of vintage accessories. Who knows? I guess we'll see eventually. I can't imagine wetsuits too far away if they're doing leatherneck now. And obviously, when you see things like this on the Recon Diver, sorry, the Action Sailor Recon Diver, the Recon Diver. It sounds funnier when you put colon in there, doesn't it? I love those memes where all those like threads where it's like people spelling cologne incorrectly, and it's like I love the smell of my husband's colon and stuff like that. They always get me, and the pregnant misspellings as well. I every time there's a video that, and there's a guy called Lou Ballin or Lou Ballin does this amazing song where he sings that like with like proper produced music that he's made. You need to check him out. He's so funny, and he just does it with these random internet beef sort of like posts, and then he'll make songs out of them. It's just so funny. Anyway, the pregnant one, like praganat, am I pregnate? Am I praganant? It's just hilarious. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, aren't I? Underwater propulsion. Thank you, Justin. That's a good way of saying it. Chris, were you able to get in on the lower price 60th anniversary pre-orders? No, I never get in on any lower priced anything with classified. I didn't go in on I don't really do pre-orders. I just cross my fingers and hope for the best a lot of the time. And I've been all right so far. So far, so good. And also, this is a pile which is taking ages to get to. There's a pile here of figures which I have yet to get to. So yeah, can't complain. But at the same time, like in terms of pre-orders, not anymore. I don't do them, honestly. But I'm glad you got in there. Anyway, this underwater propulsion thing is pretty cool. But let's look at his backpack, which is, are they Cobra symbols? They are Cobra symbols. Interesting. I was kind of under the impression that, I know we have already seen this to some degree on in multiple ways, but I was kind of, and this is the first time I think I've said it out loud, but I was expecting the 60th to be like so generic or done in such a generic way that it wouldn't have ties to Cobra, it wouldn't have GI Joe logos on it necessarily. But they've definitely gone like GI Joe logos, Cobra sigils with crosses through them, and that stuff like that. Because I thought it was going to be like, yeah, we're going to do these really generic troopers, and we're gonna, kind of keep some of those logos off them. But but I guess maybe, yeah, Super Science, the 60th Cobra figures confirmed, possibly. I mean, yeah, again, I don't know. Actually, I do not know. I do know of, obviously, was it the Marine and the pilot that are coming? But I don't know some extra info about that, which we can't say yet. But I just thought it was going to be like, specifically just generic troopers. But no, it's cool, and they're tying it into the universe. It's all good, and it's basically effectively saying that, GI Joe is going to have all these other, factions to interact with, should we say, all these kind of troop builder factions, like Wetsuit and Torpedo are going to have their own like group of guys that are with them now, and the Action Soldier can accompany like Dusty. Do you know what I mean? Like he kind of leads them in the desert, sort of thing. That kind of vibe. Anyway, it was just something I kind of jumped into my head as I saw the Cobra sigils with crosses through them on this particular backpack. And again, I think there have been some changes to that backpack. Maybe not. Maybe it's just redeco. I think it's just redeco. Where is my Torpedo? Where are you? You're here somewhere, Torpedo. He is there somewhere. Oh, he's miles. I'm never going to be able to reach him. Anyway, yeah, there he is. And there's a front shot. Looks like he's about to jump off the ledge into a bath or something there, doesn't he? But there you've got the 24 on the front of the breather kind of chest piece, which goes on top of the secondary. It just looks really cool. There's lots of cool stuff going on with this one. Classified grade, property of Special Forces unit. I like that. Yeah, Future Fortress says lovely pile. Are you talking about my pile of figures, or are you talking about something else, which you might want to see a doctor about? Just kidding. I've had them. It's not the best. So anyway, yes. So Action Sailor Recon Diver, looking cool. This is another shot of the submersible, the propulsion system, again from the side, and you get that kind of like, I love that they've gone all out with the kind of warning, caution, like logos and decals and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. 24 on every figure, question mark, says Kevin. I don't know. Well, 24 on every one of those chess pieces, obviously, but I don't know. Is there a 24 on the action soldier? Have I missed that somehow? Or are you just saying the fact that they're going to be all, troop builders, they're all going to have the same number? Because yeah, that is going to be the case technically. Like having Graves on Grunt's, um, you know, name tag, even though he's technically a troop builder. If you want to buy multiples, etc., etc. I thought there was a bolt of electricity in that picture at first. Kind of does look a bit kind of crazy, doesn't it, going on in the background there, Ryan? But yeah, again, cool to see this from the side. Here he is utilizing it, which I love this shot. Good. I like that Simon definitely kind of posed the legs there to make it look like he's doing the old. Ooh. I just watched the last series of SEAL Team as well. And I remember there was one episode in that, if you've watched SEAL Team and the last series specifically, I'm no spoilers. I was a bit upset, a bit sad. There's a big sad in it, obviously, but there was one mission where they were underwater for like 4 hours or something, and they're having to swim, and then one of the guys like O2 things goes, and they have to share breathing apparatus while they swim like for hours. It's crazy, but it was a really good and kind of cool episode. And this shot here just reminds me of that. There's a scene where they're just like swimming along. He's going backwards, says Justin. Yeah, no, what's happened? He's flipped it round just as a shark has appeared. Yeah, I think the natural inclination is to have it that way round. Not, I'm again. I think based on like the way the things have, like, what's the word, the readouts on the screens and everything. Yeah, it's going to have to be the other way around. But it's almost like he's gone. But yeah, there you go. There he is. Again, you want to be seeing the readout. So yeah, you'd be holding it the other way around, totally. But it looks cooler that way around, even if it doesn't make sense. But no, yeah, I like it. Very nice indeed. And this is the loadout as well. Again, submersible, secondaries, backpacks. You got a satchel. You got obviously you've got multiple heads. You've got the mask, the breathing apparatus. You've got the other, whatever that is. What is that? Another secondary piece that can go on the chest, like a different. It's like it's got like two little handles, and you can see it, right? Anyway, and then obviously the pistols, the rifles, the harpoon, etc., etc. So there's a lot of stuff with this figure. It's very nice. Anyway, thank you to Simon Riley for sending us those images. Really appreciate it. And yeah, awesome stuff. So yeah. What was I saying? Kevin says, nice figure. Thank you. I've been working out. Just kidding. Future Fortress says, hey, at least it's not an official product shot. Remember the Storm Shadow with the hood on the wrong way? Yes, I do, Future Fortress. I don't even know how they got that hood on there. How do you even get that thing on that way round? Like, I don't understand. That was actually, I almost wasn't mad. It was just impressive how they managed to do that. Toy Reclaimer says high tech, maybe. What did I say? What did I say to make you respond that way? To Future Fortress. I see. Anywho, yeah, so that is the Action Sailor Recon Diver in hand images. More will probably be coming soon, I imagine. Articulated icons hoods always put on wrong, made me laugh. I need to. There's another one with classified, wasn't there? That was Quick Kick. They put the sash on the wrong way. Well, I think Matt did it. AKA Shooting the Galaxy. I think he put it on the wrong side. But there were a few promo shots where he had it the wrong way around. Anyway, brilliant stuff. And I think there's one more thing to talk about, and that is Trick or Treat Studios. Now, this was kind of a surprise. What's funny is I saw the Trick or Treat post, but it was a catalog post, right? It was a video showing the catalog being flicked through, kind of like electronic. It's like it's digital. It's not like someone was flicking the pages, but it was like a animated kind of thing of the catalog flipping pages. And I saw it, but obviously I wasn't going to watch the whole thing. I wasn't expecting to see anything actually either. So I kind of like did that thing where you kind of ghost past it, and then obviously didn't get to the point where I got to the GI Joe section, and then obviously pictures started making their way out. And people were going, "Oh, have you seen this?" I'm like, I was just on there. Where did this come from?" So yeah, really cool that we're getting a bunch of new stuff from Trick or Treat Studios. So the Cobra Commander helmet obviously came out um quite a while back, didn't it? That was what, 2 years now? I want to say. I think it was 2 years, honestly. It might be 1 year. Let me know in the comments. I think it was a pretty long time ago. They did it. It's got the removable chrome faceplate. Slightly, it's a bit of a like more updated, kind of sexier version of the Modern Icons one. Which actually, I've got to say, I have, and I do like the Modern Icons one, but it is a little wider. It makes you look like a kind of a chubbier Cobra Commander. It's not as sleek and like long as you'd expect. Kitty said. This one though is much more uh, more Cobra Commander than the other one, I would say. But anyway, Trick or Treat Studios, they brought that out, and then we didn't really get much. We got a few like ornaments and stuff, didn't we? I want to say through Trick or Treat, but not much else. And then lo and behold, 2024 comes around, and we're getting not only are we getting a Snake Eyes helmet, which again we got with the Modern Icons. It'll be interesting to see how this compares to that one. The Modern Icons one is cool again, but it's a little tight on my face. When it closes in, it kind of really kind of like pinches in, and it's not comfortable. Um, and it's a weird way of like you kind of like it's on like elastic, and it kind of springs out almost to go on. It's a little bit difficult to operate, shall we say. The Cobra Commander one's easy. You just go bonk, pop it on your head, and it's there. We're all chubby Cobra Commanders. Correct, Justin. Correct. But so it'd be interesting to see what their process is with this particular mask. On top of that, Destro. I know that's the main one. That's the one everyone cares about, I guess, because it's the first Destro helmet we've had since Blooming whatever those masks were. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we had a Destro mask of some description. So this is, I mean, like what, 80s, 90s, maybe a push, whatever that kid's mask was when that came out. I don't think there's been any other since then. But anyway, really cool. I'm really excited to see how this one operates. Is it going to be a similar thing to the Snake Eyes Modern Icons, where you kind of split it like and then put it on like that? I mean, how's it gonna work? I'm really interested. So that's really dope. I think it's a really good Destro helmet, and this is going to be. I mean, how many cosplays are we going to see with this? How many Halloween costumes are we going to see of Destro? And probably the PDD version. Funnily enough, I want to say I have a Destro knocking about. Yeah, this one. So my wonderful, our wonderful Diana Davis sent me via, obviously, Diana, if you're in the chat, can you just remind me who did this? It is a soft goods like robe with animal print and this kind of like satin sort of like vibe going on. But I put it on this Destro to make him not the PDD one, because obviously he's already got enough going on in terms of like the cape and everything. So I thought I'd pop this one on this Destro. It's really cool. But yeah, can you remind me, Diana, sorry, who made it? Because it's really cool and I want to give them the proper props. And it's even got like a little Velcro belt that kind of like comes off and then obviously opens up. So you can have him just looking really dope in a robe. This, if you get that whoever gets that helmet, get a robe like this. You should be able to find one. I think that'd be pretty easy to find. I say pretty easy to find. Just something of that kind of vibe, yeah. rock that to a Halloween party, and you're winning right there. Yeah, Leisure Destro. Like I said, Diana, if you're in the chat, I did see you earlier, I think. Did I see you earlier, Diana? I may have just made that up. If you're not in and you don't see this until late, no, I did see you ages ago. Yeah, there you are. Just let me know who made that, because I will want to give them a shout out. And if you're not on at the moment, it's no big deal. My wife wants me to get the Destro mask for interesting. I'm not finishing. I should have read that before I started reading it. But yes, Mike, that nice. I like it. I like that. Hey, no shame here. If you want to, yeah, if that's something that buzzes your berries, as I like to say, then that's fantastic. As long as it's all consensual. Obviously, it is in there, because that's what you're saying. You're saying it there, obviously. Anyway, yeah. So Destro, and then on top of that, we have even more things. Yes, we've got little candy buckets, or pails, as you guys call them. We would just call them buckets, and we wouldn't say candy. We'd say like sweet buckets. I don't even know what we'd say, honestly. What would we say in the UK, guys? There are some UK guys on here, I think, aren't there? What do we call candy pails? Which I honestly never in a million years would I say that, even though I just did then. What would we call? Do we even have those things? I mean, like, I know Halloween just wasn't a big deal when I was a kid. It was like one night. That was it, basically. I'm going to attract Naked HD talking like, yeah, absolutely, Future Fortress. Definitely went after dark, Miguel, didn't we? Yeah, big time. Anyway, so yeah, I can't think what we'd even call those, but I guess just buckets. We'd call them buckets, not pails. But anyway, it's irrelevant. We get a Snake Eyes and a Cobra Commander one, and they're really fun. I really like those. I kind of like the design of the Snake Eyes pail more than I do the mask, because it's got that sunbow kind of grey visor going on, whereas the mask is a little bit more like, metallic-y. Yeah, but anyway, brilliant. And then yeah, so that's all coming in 2024 for Trick or Treat Studios. So that's really cool. But yeah, it's been interesting that we haven't seen anything from them for a long time, and then boom, here are 4 new items for you. Yeah, pails, Frank, but yeah, that's what they call, like, candy pails. I think they were called pails. Yeah, they call them on there. They're calling them pails on there too. You've got, like, it's written in the text. But yeah, I think we just call them buckets in the UK. Anyway, there you go. That's everything. Let's transition out of this so we can talk with my full face on the screen. Yeah, that worked. So what was I going to say? I was going to, first of all, I was going to show you my setup, wasn't I, that I've been working on for a little while. If we go all the way over there, you can scroll up a bit. You can see the Hiss box. Sorry, my microphone's in the way now. Get out of the way, microphone. Mike, out of the way. You can't really see, you might be able to see the front of the Hiss tank ever so slightly there, but the Hiss tank's on that side. Loads of figures on the top here and on there. You can't really see them because of the lighting, unfortunately. And then obviously lots and lots of like figure displays going on. What have we got in the end? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. We've got 12 segments filled up at the moment, and then the 4 on the bottom are empty, ready for more. And I'm trying to like theme it. I posted on Hoarder, so if you want to check out the Hoarder page, you'll see all of the pictures a bit clearer. And I've kind of tried to theme it. But obviously, I'm a bit light on Dreadnoks at the moment. I still need Buzzer and Ripper. So as soon as I get them, they're going to go in the Dreadnought section. And so at the moment, it's just Zorana. And what else we got? We've got Zartan, which is this Zartan that is now here. So he's left his station. I've got Crocmaster, Copperhead, and who else is in there? Oh, and PDD, Destro, because I thought it was kind of fun to have because obviously you've got to spread the Destros out. There's a few Destros, just like Cobra Commanders, man. I have to spread the Cobra Commanders all over the place. And Baroness, although no, I've only got one of her out, so I don't have to spread her out at all. Zartans I have to spread out. There's a few of them. And what else? I've got like a crimson section with the twins and the Crimson Guard, different versions, and the Crimson Viper and the Crimson Bat. And I've got the Crimson Alley Viper over here, but I need to open that just to get it in there quick, don't I? Anyway, yeah, Miguel, there's going to be different themes. Yeah, I've got like a Tiger Force section. All of Python Patrol on the top with a load of the other troopers, because it just looked cool to have all of the like infantry squad leaders, officers, like the Valkyrie officers, the Cobra officer, the Python officer, the Viper officer, all of those kind of guys. I wanted them to, like, together, kind of almost like planning. And that turned out really cool. So that, all of the kind of like heads of groups are together like that, of the troops, not like your actual major, bloods, and not your major characters, but like, I wanted to kind of have, even down to one of the troopers with an infantry squad leader armband, like one of them is there, and it's like the two Valkyrie officers are there, the Viper officer, as I said before, and then the Cobra officer and the Python officer. So, and the Crimson Guard's over there too, in the Python Crimson Guard. So yeah, anyway. Am I going to display my 12 inches? What 12 inches do I have, RKW? I mean, I've got Sideshow, but they're in the UK. I don't have any 12-inch here, I don't think. I don't think so. Or do I? No, I do. I have 3-0, and yes, I do. There you go. You just said it for me. 3-0. Yeah, I do have a few 3-0. Where can I put? Well, I've got another bookshelf over there. They'll probably go over there. Would I? Yeah. So this is the thing, right, Miguel? Just as a side note, what my plan is not just to leave them there like just figures in a square. I want to do little dio setups, little scenes. So like there's a snow one with the Snow Serpent, Snow Job, Timber and Snake Eyes, Arctic Bat, etc., etc. I want to kind of do like a little floor out, so it's like a little snowy backdrop and a backdrop, a snowy floor, and maybe some like stuff, like kind of put them in like a scene. Maybe even have like some ski marks and have Snow Job in the skis, like, cutting through. So I want to do little like dio segments and stuff. Frank says, Chris, can you please ask Corda, yes, to update the Android app on the Play Store, as my Google Pixel 8 Pro is not compatible? Frank, we are currently in the process of a massive upgrade in like more ways than one. We've managed to secure some pretty significant funding, which is really cool. Yay. And we're working on a massive rebuild. Problem is, these things take a little bit of time. So my apologies that it's not working on your Pixel 8 Pro. What I'll see if we could, there's a possibility where we can like patch that in the interim. And I'll see how it goes on that one. So but yeah, thank you, Frank, for I know we're kind of aware of that issue, but yeah, it's difficult at the moment. But yeah, we're attempting this massive kind of overhaul. We're implementing loads of new features. It's going to be really cool, and I honestly can't wait. I'm really excited for it. But yes, Frank, I'll see if we can get something done in the interim though, before then. Yes, I will definitely, RKW, I will definitely try and get my 3-0 stuff up here, because I've got Snake Eyes, I've got Roadblock, I've got a couple of Snake Eyes, Roadblock. Yeah, I'll probably get some of those up. But then also there's another, I've got the Bait 1000 Toys collaborations. I have those as well in this country, I believe. Johnny B54 says, HasLab hiss, make room for Dragonfly and HasLab Rattler question mark. That seems, everyone's talking about that as if it's fact. I must admit, I think I would love a Rattler, but I think my heart actually is more into a Moray. That's a Moray. No pun intended with the heart thing there. But well, I guess it was fully intended. So I think a rattler would be wicked, but I wouldn't be able to get it in there. What my plan is, obviously, there's a hiss box in one corner. That's really there now, kind of like saving the space for the dragonfly. Because what will happen is I'll redistribute all those figures on the top into the rest of the segments, and then the dragonfly is going to be versus the hiss tank on the top. Probably a vamp up there too, if there's space. But at the moment, we've kind of got Serpentor at the top on top of the hiss box, and the Trouble Bubble with the Televiper, and all of the kind of Cobra hierarchy. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of doing over there. But yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan. Well, I'll still apologize, Frank, because your needs are not being met currently, and I want you to be enjoying that app. Will you and Pat be talking about Kickley's latest sketches on Friday? Yes, we will, Ryan. There's been some beauties. I know he posted one today. I've only just gotten around to resharing it on Facebook. I'll do the same for Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff later. I just haven't had a second to do anything today. So, I've had to rush, this little news burst out as well. And like I said, tomorrow I plan on doing Let's Talk Classified Iron Grenadiers, which I'm really excited to do because I've only done those videos as edited videos, and I know they kind of work that way. But what I found doing it this way is the amount of work necessary in creating graphics. Oh my word. I might have to rejig that going forward. But thankfully, right, the Iron Grenadiers have got a lot of figure versions, right? So obviously there's a lot of figures to kind of go through, a lot of bullet points, a lot of explanation, a lot of talk to be done, right? So it wasn't the best one to start with, was it? But after that, it's like Xandar, who has like 2 figures, maybe 3. It's Nemesis Enforcer that has like 2 figures. Or Immortal, I should say. Starduster, hardly anything apart from variations to talk about. And Leatherneck, he's got very little in the way of action figures to work with, so that's good. That's really good. Yes. So I will be talking through the Iron Grenadiers in the Classified series and doing a little history of the Iron Grenadiers as well. Yeah, interesting. Yes, Andrew. I need to do Nemesis Enforcer Immortal soon because yes, he was just teased in the new Cobra Commander issue cover. Indeed, I think there is a resurgence on that. Sorry, I'm just catching up on some comments I just missed. Ryan says the Moray is a poor man's water moccasin, despite being bigger and more expensive. That makes no sense. But I'm with you, Ryan. That's hilarious. Future Fortress says, then give Joe some smaller boats around the same time at retail or possible. Oh, in Haslab Whale with Cutter, or Moray would be your pick. Sorry, Moray would be your pick, and then give Joe some smaller boats around the same time at retail or on Pulse. Makes sense. Generation Joe, did you get a chance to see the video for my G.I. Joe Premium Series Concept Dreadnoks opening? Not yet, bud, but I will try and check it out as soon as I get the opportunity. I've got a lot of homework to do, trust me. But yes, I know you sent it through, so I will check it out. Yes, the Cobra Commander comic. Yes, indeed. Right. What else is there to talk about? I think that's everything. So, in summary, Hiya Toys have revealed Zartan, and I guess pre-orders would be the kind of case there. Keep an eye on Robot Kingdom, Cool Toys Club, etc., for any other for us out here in the US anyway. Hello, Shark Eyes. And yes, and so that's that. So that's revealed Zartan, very similar to his classified design, of course, as we were going to expect, with a few slight variations, including the face makeup, which is interesting. I'll be talking through that with Pat. I have no idea what he thinks about the face makeup. I like to kind of not ask him until we get to Friday, just so I'm surprised by his response, and it can be more like, huh? And we can have like weird discussions about things. And yeah, so that's the first thing. The second thing was we got in-hand images courtesy of Simon Riley of the G.I. Joe Classified Series 60th Anniversary Action Sailor: Recon Diver. which looked great. Really excited to see that one in my hands specifically. And Trick or Treat have revealed some products for 2024 in their catalogue. Snake Eyes, Destro helmets, and pails, candy pails for Snake Eyes and Cobra Commander for Halloween. There you go. We'll be recapping a lot of this on the weekly, and we'll be talking in depth, as Pat and I do, about Halloween, I'd imagine. And and that's pretty much it. Like I said, keep an eye out tomorrow for around a similar time, I'd imagine, for my Let's Talk Classified Iron Grenadiers live episode. I'm excited to do that one, and it'll be daunting because I'll have to have all the knowledge at hand going forward. Like with an edited video, you write it, you recite it, you record it, done. You know what I mean? Like, and then you mess with it afterwards. Any news on the Pulse Feb 1st live stream? No, other than that's what we're expecting. We're just expecting that to happen. Keep an eye out tomorrow and possibly even Friday for an update on a G.I. Joe live event. I'd imagine it would happen this week in terms of announcing it, especially if they've already announced all the other brands pretty much. I think Marvel have got one to come, right? Or they haven't been announced yet, but I expect Marvel to have one. Well, I know Star Wars have had one. I know Transformers are having one on the 30th. So it's almost certain that G.I. Joe will, be happening in and around the 1st, if not on the 1st of February. Right then, I think that's everything. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining me and all that good stuff. Like I said, I'll be back. Stay fresh. I almost said keep it fresh, which makes no sense. Stay fresh cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to, unless there's another question that's come in just before just people that are late. After 3, you know what to do, guys. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Latest. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Full Force. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @The Full Force Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.